Hey, what's up, guys? Ankle Breaker J2 here, the man with the plan, man with the mind, and knowledge of the YWC. And this here's a video that I wanted to make, one of my first videos I ever wanted to make on YouTube. I delayed it all the way off to now, because I figured it would be the best time to make it. Why are people always bitch and complain about the Hall of Fame? Why is the internet audience always bitches, whines, and moans about the WWE Hall of Fame? This year, for WrestleMania 27, we got going in so far Edge, the Four Horsemen, and hasn't been fully confirmed on TV through WWE, but right now, it's a very, very, very strong possibility that Yokozuna will be in the Hall of Fame, which Yokozuna is my favorite super heavyweight of all time. I just think that Yokozuna definitely deserves to be in the Hall of Fame, you know, and he was one of the last few heel wrestlers to get like a very, very long title reign. But enough about that. First of all, what I want to say is that there's a lot of people out there that's complaining about Edge being in the Hall of Fame. It's too early for Edge to be in the Hall of Fame. How come they can't wait till WrestleMania 29 when they're in Toronto? How come he's being inducted already? First of all, I didn't know it was a fucking certain age you gotta be to be in the Hall of Fame. Do you gotta be at least 45 years old to be in the Hall of Fame? No, you don't have to be a certain age to get in the Hall of Fame. This is not like fucking, you know, Major League Baseball or the NFL or the NBA where you gotta be at least 5 years or 6 years retired in order to be able to be qualified to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. This is wrestling, professional wrestling. Now, that's first of all. Second of all, shouldn't you just be happy for him at least being inducted into the Hall of Fame? Shouldn't you at least be happy? Because in a moment, I'm going to go through the full list of legends. And I know I'm not going to hit every single legend here because there's a lot of fucking legends that deserve to be in the Hall of Fame that is not in the Hall of Fame as of yet. Now, I'm going to go through the obvious choices despite what's going on, like, you know, maybe like backstage politics or maybe like a certain spouse doesn't want his husband to be inducted into the Hall of Fame because he passed away from an accident. You already know who I'm talking about, Owen Hart. But you know, I mean, shouldn't you just be happy that the guy is going to be in the Hall of Fame? I would rather have a guy going early than not going at all. Like, for example, Edge is going to the Hall of Fame. Do I think he's going in too early? Personally, I don't give a shit, but yeah, you can say it's a little early, but why are we going to complain if he's going to go into the Hall of Fame? Would you rather Edge go in the Hall of Fame now or 15, 20 years later when everybody's like, oh, well, Edge should have been in the Hall of Fame at WrestleMania 29. How come he wasn't inducted? You know what I mean? Like, come on. First of all, the reason why I believe Edge is going to the Hall of Fame right now, at this moment, is, one, that WrestleMania 29 may not be in Toronto next year. They may do it in Dallas. And I know that WWE wanted to give Edge his own, not his own Hall of Fame thing, but he wants Edge to be the main focus of the Hall of Fame at WrestleMania 29. It's more likely going to be in Dallas now, so either you're going to have Edge be inducted in Dallas, or inducted early, or at WrestleMania 30, which I believe Mick Foley will be the main inductee at WrestleMania 30. That's just my personal opinion. I don't know if that's going to happen or not, but that's just a guess. You know, Mick Foley's going to be my main inductee for WrestleMania 30. And WrestleMania 30, they're going to make a big, huge Hall of Fame where you might have The Undertaker there, you might have Triple H, you know, you're going to have a lot of guys there. That's one thing, Edge. Now, the second thing, the Four Horsemen. The Four Horsemen definitely deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. Definitely deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. The greatest faction of all time. Come on, that means the Four Horsemen. The first real gang of professional wrestling. They definitely deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. Now, a lot of people are asking, is Ric Flair going to be there? Definitely Ric Flair is going to be there. Vince McMahon will not actually let the Four Horsemen be inducted into the Hall of Fame without Ric Flair being there, right? I mean, I know Ric Flair's the leader of the Four Horsemen. I know Ric Flair is the Four Horsemen, but I know Ric Flair, you know, is the world champion, the leader of the Four Horsemen, all that good stuff. But the thing about if Ric Flair's going to receive a second ring, or if he's even going to be there, well, I understand why he needs to be there, but if he's going to receive a second ring at all, What does it matter if Ric Flair's gonna need to get a second ring? He's been inducted at WrestleMania 24. So what does it matter if he's gonna get a second ring? He's already in the fucking Hall of Fame. I mean, that's just ludicrous why people think like that. Like, well, Ric Flair's gonna get a second ring, he's just still have his first ring. What does it matter? He's inducted in the Hall of Fame anyway. It doesn't fucking matter. You people look too deep into shit like that. It doesn't fucking matter. Now, my only complaint about the Four Horsemen is that you got Ric Flair, Tully Blanchard, Arn Anderson, and Barry Windham, and J.J. Dillon going to the Hall of Fame. Those five guys right there, that's the most notable Four Horsemen. That's the most famous version of the Four Horsemen going to the Hall of Fame. I have no problems with that. My only little tweak is, if I was WWE, I will add the original member, Ole Anderson, in there as well, because Barry Windham is not part of the original Four Horsemen. He's the second version of the Four Horsemen. Ole left because he was getting older. He wanted to take care of his family, and plus he became a booker in NWA and going into WCW. But I will have Ole Anderson in there as well because he was one of the original members. Maybe he will be, maybe he won't be, but currently right now I think he should get a Hall of Fame, because get a Hall of Fame ring or get noticed in the Hall of Fame as part of the original Four Horsemen. But that's all in WWE though. Now I want to go down this list here that I made, and I know obviously I'm gonna miss a lot of people, so leave your comments below. Well, you forgot about this guy. Well, you forgot about that guy. This is just guys off the top of my head who are not in the WWE Hall of Fame, and I pretty much went through most of the correct people. Okay, first guy, Ravishing Rick Rude, definitely needs to be in the Hall of Fame. No questions asked. Bruno Sammartino needs to be in the Hall of Fame, but he doesn't want to be in the Hall of Fame because Bruno Sammartino declined of being in the Hall of Fame. Goldberg, sometime down the road, maybe if they become on good terms again, maybe he'll be in the Hall of Fame one day. Macho Man Randy Savage, obvious choice. I don't need to explain why Macho Man needs to be there. Ultimate Warrior, not on good terms with WWE. Well, they're kind of on good terms, but it's not to the point where Warrior's going to be in the Hall of Fame. So sometime down the road, he should be in there. Owen Hart, explained earlier, his spouse, his wife, does not want him to be inducted in the Hall of Fame. There's still not bad feud, but like a bad relationship between Owen Hart's wife and the WWE right now. So, there you go. Brian Pillman, a former Four Horseman, but he should be in for that reason. But Brian Pillman should be in the Hall of Fame. Maybe he'll go in this year. We don't know. Jake the Snake Roberts, he's still battling his demons right now. If he comes up to the Hall of Fame fucked up, that'll be embarrassing for WWE. So, unfortunately, I don't want to say this, but unless Jake the Snake Roberts gets himself cleaned up, we won't see him until after he passes away, and that's actually gonna suck. But he's definitely a Hall of Famer. Vader definitely needs to go in the Hall of Fame. Ron Simmons, a.k.a. Farouk, definitely needs to go in the Hall of Fame. Lou Thesz, you tell me that Lou Thesz, the best wrestler, the best known wrestler in the 50s and 60s, is not in your Hall of Fame? That's fucking ridiculous. Now I understand this is WWE's Hall of Fame now. WWE, unless you work for Vince Sr., typically you're not gonna be in the Hall of Fame, except for like Vern Gagne, which was agreed upon the AWA footage purchase, and Eddie Graham, who didn't work for Vince Sr. But in most cases, if you go down the Hall of Fame list, they at least work for Vince Sr. or Vince McMahon sometime in the past. Where if it's like a show or something, but they at least work for WWF, WWF, or WWE sometime. Lou Thesz. Magnum TA. I don't think you people really know who Magnum TA is. Definitely just deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. His career ended short. He's still alive, but he got seriously injured in a car accident back in the 80s. He was gonna be one of the next big stars in the NWA. He was possibly, I won't say as big as Ric Flair, but he was gonna be like one of those guys known as, he was gonna be as big as Sting pretty much. He was gonna have that, he was gonna be as big as Sting as far as popularity back in the day in NWA and WCW. But Magnum TA should be in the Hall of Fame. Jim Crockett Promotions definitely should be, in the Hall of Fame, because Jim Crockett, the NWA, Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling. And I'm talking about Jim Crockett Sr. and Jr. If you've seen the Rise and Fall of WCW DVD, the Crockett's were great promoters. Basically it'll be out of Charlotte. Then they came together with Ted Turner. Then they made the whole TBS thing big, and you know, that's a long story. If you want to learn more about Jim Crockett and Jim Crockett Jr., look at the Rise and Fall of WCW DVD. I put Eddie Graham here. I don't know why he's already in there, but if anything, Mike Graham should go in there. I was probably thinking about Mike Graham. Mike Graham should go in there. He's part of the Graham family, a former executive, part of WCW as well, and a great wrestler as well. The Fabulous Freebirds, Michael Hayes, Terry Bam Bam Gordy, and fucking Buddy Roberts should be in the fucking Hall of Fame. They should have been in the Hall of Fame a long time ago. It's a fucking joke that the Fabulous Freebirds, one of the most influential factions of all time, is not in the Hall of Fame as of yet, and I'm still pissed off about it. They should be in the fucking Hall of Fame, no matter what. The Fabulous Freebirds. Bruiser Brody, you put Abdul the Butcher in there, you need to put Bruiser Brody in there. Just saying. Diamond Dallas Page, everybody knows who DDP is. Miss Elizabeth, come on. The Rock and Roll Express, one of the best tag teams of all time that nobody will know unless you've seen them actually work in the ring. One of the very first high-flying tag teams. One of the greatest tag teams of all time, the Rock and Roll Express. Another great tag team, the Midnight Express. The reason why I don't think the Midnight Express will go in the Hall of Fame soon is because of Jim Cornette is the manager for the Midnight Express. So I don't think that will actually happen anytime soon because, you know, Jim Cornette is part of Ring of Honor right now. Demolition, great tag team. A lot of people say of the Road Warriors knockoff, but hell, in 1980, like from 1980, I want to say like 1987 to like 1990, they were tag team wrestling in WWF. Demolition. Tito Santana, good contributor to WWE, WWF, former Intercontinental Champion. Arriba! And he was a former Spanish announcer as well back in the day. Rick the Martel, former AWA World Champion. This guy's a former World Champion. Definitely needs to go in the Hall of Fame. And also as well, have one of the best gimmicks of all time, the model gimmick. Definitely needs to go in the Hall of Fame. You know, great wrestler. And he was also part of, him and Tito Santana was actually tag team champions, known as Strike Force. So you can put those two together as a tag team, Strike Force. Kill two birds with one stone. There you go. Tito Santana and Rick Martel. Then the last three I have here is Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, Sean Waltman. I don't have to explain why those guys should be in the Hall of Fame and why they're not going to be in the Hall of Fame right now. Scott Hall, battling demons. Sean Waltman, whatever with Sean Waltman, he's battling demons too. He looks like a fucking crack addict right now. If you see his latest mugshot. Kevin Nash, he's doing well for himself right now, and he's been in WWE as of late, so maybe we'll see him in the Hall of Fame. So, I hope you guys realized by the video that I just made here on why I think that why we shouldn't really bitch and complain about Edge being in the Hall of Fame, because this whole list here, this whole list I just went through right now, are guys that definitely should be in the Hall of Fame already. It's I know you can't put them all in at once, but it's a damn shame on why some of these guys are not. Like, for example, Coco Beware is in before a guy like, you know, I mean, he's in before a guy like Macho Man. You know what I mean? Or Bruno Sammartino, even though Bruno Sammartino declined it. Or Rick Rude. You're telling me that Coco Beware is better than Rick Rude? And, you know, on a lighter note, let me just look on the other side of it. Some of these guys don't have, you know what I mean? Some of these guys don't have somebody to induct them. So I also have to think about that as well. Some of these guys, I mean, it'll be kind of hard to get somebody from, you know, like Macho Man Randy. Who's going to induct Macho Man Randy Savage? Miss Elizabeth can't. You know what I mean? Sensational Sherry can't because they're both passed away. Who else that was very close to Macho Man? I would say DDP. You know what I mean? Because they had a great feud in 1997. But I mean, it's very hard to find somebody that can induct Macho Man. So we also got to think about that as well. But yeah, guys, tell me what your thoughts are. You know, please rate, please subscribe, please drop a comment, and hopefully see it from my position that we shouldn't bitch and whine and moan about the Hall of Famers, because half of these Hall of Famers that went down the list on, they're actually either they're passed away or they're having problems in their own lives right now. So we should just be happy on that Edge is going to the Hall of Fame. We should just be happy that Ric Flair is already in the Hall of Fame. We should be happy that Arn Anderson, a guy who bust his ass in this wrestling business and bust his ass in backstage in WWE for all these years, is finally going to the Hall of Fame. We should just be happy about that. But guys, you tell me what your thoughts, and I'll check you guys later. Peace out, guys.